Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A mass of small bubbles formed in or on a liquid. The beer had a thick head of foam. Become bubbly or frothy or foaming. The river was foaming. A lightweight material in cellular form, made by introducing gas bubbles during manufacture. A mass of small bubbles formed in or on a liquid. Make froth or foam and become bubbly. Become bubbly or frothy or foaming. The boiling soup was frothing. Exude or expel foam. The angry man was frothing at the mouth. Become bubbly or frothy or foaming. Become bubbly or frothy or foaming. An effervescent beverage, usually alcoholic. Become bubbly or frothy or foaming. Merriment expressed by a brightness or gleam or animation of countenance. He had a sparkle in his eye. Emit or produce sparks. The occurrence of a small flash or spark. Reflect brightly. Unquarried marble sparkled on the hillside. Be lively or brilliant or exhibit virtuosity. The musical performance sparkled. The quality of shining with a bright reflected light. Become bubbly or frothy or foaming. Flow in an irregular current with a bubbling noise. Expel gas from the stomach. A speculative scheme that depends on unstable factors that the planner cannot control. A real estate bubble. A dome-shaped covering made of transparent glass or plastic. A hollow globule of gas, e.g., air or carbon dioxide. An impracticable and illusory idea. He didn't want to burst the newcomer's bubble. Cause to form bubbles. Bubble gas through a liquid. Form, produce, or emit bubbles. Rise in bubbles or as if in bubbles. Bubble to the surface. Informal terms for personal possessions. Overeat or eat immodestly, make a pig of oneself. She stuffed herself at the dinner. Fill with a stuffing while cooking. Have you stuffed the turkey yet? Senseless talk. Don't give me that stuff. Obstruct. My nose is all stuffed. The tangible substance that goes into the makeup of a physical object. Wheat is the stuff they use to make bread. Press or force. A critically important or characteristic component. Suspense is the very stuff of narrative. Cram into a cavity. The child stuffed candy into his pockets. Fill tightly with a material. Stuff a pillow with feathers. Information in some unspecified form. It was stuff I had heard before. Miscellaneous unspecified objects. The trunk was full of stuff. Treat with grease, fill, and prepare for mounting. Stuff a bearskin. Unspecified qualities required to do or be something. The stuff of heroes. Artifact made by weaving or felting or knitting or crocheting natural or synthetic fibers. She measured off enough material for a dress. Having substance or capable of being treated as fact, not imaginary. having material or physical form or substance. The tangible substance that goes into the makeup of a physical object. Coal is a hard black material. A person judged suitable for admission or employment. He was university material. Concerned with or affecting physical as distinct from intellectual or psychological well-being. Material needs. Concerned with worldly rather than spiritual interests. Material possessions. Derived from or composed of matter. The material universe. Directly relevant to a matter, especially a law case. His support made a material difference. Information, data or ideas or observations, that can be used or reworked into a finished form. The archives provided rich material for a definitive biography. Things needed for doing or making something. Writing materials. The froth produced by soaps or detergents. Make froth or foam and become bubbly. The froth produced by soaps or detergents. A dysphemism for beer, especially for lager that effervesces. Wash in suds. Frothy water as in rapids or waterfalls. Frothy water as in rapids or waterfalls. Make froth or foam and become bubbly. Foam or froth on the sea. Computer science. A tiny electromagnetic coil and metal pole used to write and read magnetic patterns on a disk. Be in charge of. Who is heading this project? A person who is in charge. The head of the whole operation. That which is responsible for one's thoughts, feelings, and conscious brain functions, the seat of the faculty of reason. I couldn't get his words out of my head. Be the first or leading member of a group and excel. This student heads the class. The educator who has executive authority for a school. The upper part of the human body or the front part of the body in animals contains the face and brains. He stuck his head out the window. Travel in front of, go in advance of others. The procession was headed by John. The part in the front or nearest the viewer. He was at the head of the column. A line of text serving to indicate what the passage below it is about. The heading seemed to have little to do with the text. A V-shaped mark at one end of an arrow pointer. A difficult juncture. Matters came to a head yesterday. Forward movement. The ship made little headway against the gale. Oral stimulation of the genitals. They say he gives good head. A dense cluster of flowers or foliage. A head of cauliflower. The subject matter at issue. Under the head of minor Roman poets. Direct the course, determine the direction of traveling. The source of water from which a stream arises. They tracked him back toward the head of the stream. A natural elevation, especially a rocky one that jets out into the sea. Grammar, the word in a grammatical constituent that plays the same grammatical role as the whole constituent. A membrane that is stretched taut over a drum. An individual person. Tickets are $5 per head. A projection out from one end. The head of the nail. A rounded compact mass. The head of a comet. A single domestic animal. 200 head of cattle. A user of, usually soft, drugs. The office was full of secret heads. Be in the front of or on top of. The list was headed by the name of the president. Form a head or come or grow to a head. The wheat headed early this year. Nautical. A toilet on board a boat or ship. Remove the head of. Head the fish. Take its rise. These rivers head from a mountain range in the Himalayas. That part of a skeletal muscle that is away from the bone that it moves. The foam or froth that accumulates at the top when you pour an effervescent liquid into a container. The beer had a large head of foam. The front of a military formation or procession. The head of the column advanced boldly. The length or height based on the size of a human or animal head. He is 2 heads taller than his little sister. The pressure exerted by a fluid. A head of steam. The rounded end of a bone that fits into a rounded cavity in another bone to form a joint. The head of the humerus. The striking part of a tool. The head of the hammer. The tip of an abscess, where the pus accumulates. The top of something. The head of the stairs. To go or travel towards. Where is she heading? Usually plural, the obverse side of a coin that usually bears the representation of a person's head. Call heads or tails. Beat severely with a whip or rod. Agitation resulting from active worry. The froth produced by soaps or detergents. Rub soap all over, usually with the purpose of cleaning. A workman who puts up laths. Exude sweat or lather. This unfit horse lathers easily. Form a lather. The shaving cream lathered. The foam resulting from excessive sweating, as on a horse. Toiletry consisting of a liquid preparation containing many small bubbles that soften the beard before shaving. Be noisy with activity. Boil vigorously. Be in an agitated emotional state. Foam as if boiling. A light resilient foam of polystyrene. Spongy rubber. Made by introducing air bubbles before vulcanization and used for cushioning or upholstery.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.